All right. Hello, everybody. Yeah. It's hello, version hello away. Yeah. Do you think I can finish today? That's why I put a question mark up there in the finale thing. If I can't, I will just erase that. I do think that there's just one more chapter left. There's one more chapter, and then another. Well, two more chapters really. It depends on how tired I'm feeling, and we'll just see. If I don't feel like I'm up to it, then I'll end it early. Because I know the next chapter is quite long, but there's basically just basically after that, after the usual place where I would stop today, there is about 1 hour left of material to cover from Kageboushi. So it's either make it a longer stream than usual or have a shorter one next time. And I'll just play it by ear today. So anyway, last time, Natsumi went absolutely nuts. Holy shit, she murdered her whole family, basically. And she almost murdered Akira. And Akasaka found her in time and stopped her. It's like, it's so weird how, I gotta say, like, they're this whole story, like at least I'd say 80% of it was focused on the detectives. And now all of a sudden we're getting to the ending. And it's back to Natsumi again. And so we're going to see, it's sad because the detectives didn't seem to really get anywhere in their investigation. Maybe they'll reveal something at the very end. I don't know, but it looks like the rest of this is going to be all about Natsumi and her absolute going straight up Shion mode on everybody. My God. That stupid nurse didn't watch the bathroom door and just let her run out of the hospital, apparently. I don't know what was going on there. Seriously. Oh my God. Oh my God. And now I hope they can track her down before she hurts anyone else. Let's get back into it. The same day, Psyche General Hospital. I didn't have great memories of this hospital rooftop. The sunset sky was truly beautiful. I could hear the cry of the Higurashi off in the distance, and the soft wind washed away all my thoughts as it blew across my cheeks, leaving me content. However... Who are you? Kaori. Excuse you? I have no idea who this is. Sis? Oh! Chisato has a sister? Hello, T. Welcome to the stream. Is this from Chisato's perspective? Thanks to this lovely scenery, I couldn't help but think back to that time. That girl was always following me around. Sitting on this bench, talking about all sorts of things. I gently caressed the bench. The paint was peeling off due to weather exposure. As I sat my crutches down next to the bench, I thought back to the old days. Nobody would believe it, but originally I didn't enjoy being such an extrovert. Sitting somewhere quietly seemed like a better way to rest and relax. Wow! I would never have believed that in a million years. The reason I decided to try and get better at talking with others was because I was able to make her laugh. She was such a good listener. She always listened carefully, and she laughed so much when I finished my stories. That's why I put in the effort to get better at talking to other people. Really, I loved it. She was so honest, so cheerful, and she had always believed in me. My little sister, Kaori. Did she die and that must have changed Chisato so much. I'd give anything just to see her smile. I believed that I could do anything if it would make her happy. But I betrayed that trust. For all the things I said and thought in my heart, when it came to time to act, I hesitated.
何がイケイケのちーちゃんだ。
Why didn't y'all just push forward, Chi-chan?
バカ野郎。
Idiot. Baka. When I thought back on it, convincing myself that I took immediate action was a downright lie. Deep down, I was an indecisive coward. Hashtag relatable. Really, it's a terribly unfortunate story. Even though she was born into a doctor's family, nobody noticed that Kaori had a serious illness until her condition progressed to life-threatening levels. The fact that she was so patient and tolerant might have worked against her, too. At any rate, Kaori suddenly collapsed one day and was brought in for an examination. Then the doctors gave us the worst possible prognosis. However, there was still a way to save her. Indeed, there was still something we could do for her.
移植？
Transplanting.
私の骨髄を？
My bone marrow?
ああ、
Yes.
父さんと母さんは不適合だが、お前なら血液の HLA が香りの方と同じでドナーになれるんだ。
Your mother and I are unable to do so because we don't match. But your blood is an HLA match for cowards, so you're able to become a donor.
香りのためにやってくれるな。
Are y'all willing to do this for Kaori?
私は。
大丈夫だ。
It'll be fine.
お前と香りの手術にはうちの病院でも一番信頼のおける医師にやらせる。
For both y'all and Kaori. I'll have my most trusted surgeons at the hospital handle the procedure.
お前の体には何のマイナス要素も残さないよ。
It won't have any negative effects on your body. Dad tried to encourage me, but I was still young. I was terrified of what would happen if they cut me open. There was nothing that could be done. Nice dodge with the translation here. Plus, I was the daughter of the hospital director, so I had my fair share of material. Seen my fair share of material about medical accidents in the news. Even if it was for Kaori, and even if the probability of failure was close to zero, I just couldn't bring myself to say yes. I said that I needed time to think, and I avoided giving them an immediate answer.
香りの病状が急変したのはそのすぐ後だった。
Oh God. Unfortunately, Kaori's health suddenly worsened immediately after that. They rushed to prepare for the transplant surgery, but by then it was already too late. There was nothing left to do. When Kaori held my hand between both of her little hands, I felt like my hand was being crushed by a mountain of guilt and regret. And then...
お姉ちゃん
Sis.
退院したらお姉ちゃんとケーキ食べたいな。
Oh God. When I got out of this hospital, I hoped you and I could share a cake together. Those were her last words. Oh my God. After that, she wouldn't reply, no matter how much I called out. Her little hands were still firmly wrapped around my hand, and never moved again. Oh. Doctor!
私何でもします。
I'll do anything!
血液でも心臓でも何でも好きなだけ持ってっていい。
She could have my blood or my heart. Take anything you need!
だから香りを生き返らせて。
So please, please bring Coward back!
お願いします。
Please!
お願いします。
Please! I desperately cried out to the doctor standing beside me. I knew that it was already too late, but I just didn't want to admit it. Even after we laid Kaori to rest, I never stopped apologizing to her.
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No matter how much I begged for forgiveness, I knew I'd never been forgiven. I knew there was nothing I could do to make up for this. Really, a moment of hesitation created an eternity of regret. And for the longest time, I was unable to accept that. So I directed my burning anger and hatred toward the doctors and my parents, who couldn't do anything to help Kaori. If only they had noticed Kaori's condition earlier. If only they tried harder to encourage me to go along with the operation. If I was able to make the right decision, Kaori wouldn't have died. Thanks to that, I decided that the only way to clear up the melancholy thoughts in my heart was to lash out with selfish behavior. The selfish and cruel daughter of the hospital director. That's who I was back then. After seeing the absurdity of this world, I hated my miserable, detestable fate from the bottom of my heart. I understood the truth, though. Honestly, the mistake was all mine, and I just refused to accept it. Tamako and Akira were probably the only ones who knew the truth. If I hadn't met Mamoru and hadn't been admonished by my parents so many times, there's no way I could have crawled up from the bottom of that abyss.
あれからもう6年か。
It's been 6 years since then. I gently touched the handrail of the iron fence. Back then, I couldn't reach it even if I held my hand all the way out. But now, I'm even able to rest my elbow on it. Even so, it still felt like it was only yesterday. Like time hadn't advanced at all for me. Indeed, I was still as indecisive as ever. Even though I knew it was pointless, I thought back. The moment I learned that Natsumi was from Hinamizawa, I should have offered her a helping hand. But in the end, I couldn't do it. If I had done that, Natsumi might not have been driven so far off the edge. Oh my god. Even when she attacked me in front of the care center, if I had told the detectives immediately that Natsumi was the attacker, she would have been arrested before she had the chance to cause that tragic incident at home. My god! So she attacked her. It was all because I took too long to make a decision. God damn it. Sorry. I thought, I'm sorry, jeez, damn it. Every time I get really attached to a character, it always seems like stuff like this happens. Oh god, jeez. Sorry, Jesus. Unfortunately, I allowed my friend to walk into this miserable tragedy.
友達か。
My friend. Huh? Then what could I do for her as a friend? From then on, I kept thinking about that. Isn't it a friend's duty to be compassionate in the first place? To create a fun and happy space? To lend a hand when you're in trouble? In that case, I probably should have done that for her. Of course, it might be ridiculously conceited in me to think that it would work. Still, how on earth was I so lacking as a friend that I missed that? What would it take for me to become a proper friend for her?
なんか変だよね、それって。
That doesn't sound right. Did I really make a conscious effort to become a friend in the first place? You have to truly understand the way they think. You got to feel comfortable around them. Not just become friends for your own selfish reasons, right? If you like each other and understand each other, then naturally.
ああ、そっか。
I'll see. I understood. I finally understood. Well, maybe, in Higurashi, maybe you can take this lesson to future world lines, Though it might already be too late. I realized what I was missing. I wanted to know more about her, but I never truly knew her.
こんな時に今更って感じだけどね。
After all this time, I finally realized it.
だけど、
But, huh? Uh-oh. The next moment, uh-oh. I heard the loud echo of the roof access door being opened. Oh, God. Looking back to see who it was, I instantly froze. Standing right there, it was.
夏美。
Yup. Good old Crazy Eyes Natsumi. In the flesh. Natsumi. No doubt the person standing there was Natsumi Kimiyoshi. Akira, it happened to Akira last time, and now it's going to happen to Chisato this time. Oh, God.
夏美、どうして。
Natsumi. Why? Why did she come here? No, how was she able to come here? I threw those natural questions toward Natsumi. Then... Oh God, slowly. Natsumi had a cold expression as she slowly approached with her right hand hidden behind her back, then lifted it above her head. In her hand, she was holding a dimly glinting knife.
夏。
Natsumi? Natsumi let out a terrible laugh as she locked the door behind her with a friggin' gun cocking sound with her other hand. The rooftop door was different from the other rooms. It required a key to open from inside. I also heard that the key was recently lost. Oh, how fortunate. And they were still waiting to receive a spare. Beatrice, can you help us out? That meant that this rooftop was essentially a closed room. Oh, God. Beatrice? Hey, we could kind of use your help here.
なるほど。
Say. Natsumi was still feeling animosity. To her, Hinamizawa was a shackle of injustice wrapped around her and her family. And not only did I know about her Hinamizawan heritage, but she also believed that I was trying to take away the man she loved, Akira. The same Natsumi who slaughtered her parents and grandmother the other day. In other words, I was the only one left.
どうしたの？
What's going on?
逃げないの？
Are you trying to run away?
助けを呼ばないの？
Are you trying to call for help?
逃げるってどこに？
Where would I run away to?
助けも誰に言えばいいのさ。
And who the hell would I ask for help? With cold sweat dripping down my entire body, I answered with a bitter smile. There was nothing to be surprised about. Somewhere in my heart, I must have been expecting this to happen.
驚かないんだね。
You don't look surprised.
私が千里ちゃんを殺しに来たこと。
I've come here to kill you, Chisato-chan.
じゃあ理由分かってるんだよね。
Well, I assume you know why?
あんたをそこまで追い込んだ責任の一端は感じてるよ。
I'm partly responsible for what happened to y'all.
だから殺されることに納得はいかないけど理解はできる。
So I understand why y'all want to kill me.
だけどもし質問 OK ならあんたは私を殺した後どうするのかそれだけは聞いておきたいね。
However, please allow me to ask you a question. What do you plan to do after you kill me?
さあ
Is that it?
そんな先のことはわからないよ。
I haven't thought about that before.
先って言ってもどう見積もっても10分足らず後のことじゃん。
Well, I say y'all can spare about 10 minutes to discuss it.
すぐのことだよ。
Or you can just give me an answer right away. You know, whatever floats your boat, since, you know, you're the crazy killer with a knife and all.
うるさい！
Shut up! The birds standing on the fence scattered when they heard that shout, and the Higurashi fell silent for a moment. Natsumi suddenly bore her fangs as she cried out in anger. But why? Unlike before, I didn't feel an ounce of fear. Was I prepared to atone for my sins? Was I willing to walk down the road to oblivion together with her? Sorry, but that's not happening. Right. That's my answer! Woo! I won't run away anymore. I was feeling lost and scared, just like I did with Kaori. But I already felt a mountain of regret over that, and I've apologized enough. Damn! Chisato's badass! If this is my fate, I'll have to accept it as it is. Yes, I'm prepared for this. I've already seen this change in Natsumi, so I'm not afraid.
お前は私を裏切った。
You betrayed me.
信じてたのに。友達だって信じてたのに。
I believed.
裏切って東堂君との仲を邪魔しようとした。
Believe that you were my friend, but you betrayed me and tried to sabotage my relationship with Tayo-kun!
そして私のことを警察に売った。
You sold me out to the police!
許せない。許せない。
It's unforgivable! Unforgivable! Certainly, there was no point arguing the latter. When I told the police about Natsumi's attack, they went to investigate. And they arrived on the scene right as she murdered her parents, so they apprehended her before she had an opportunity to escape. So maybe if I had kept quiet, she might have been able to conceal the crime of killing her parents. But even if she was able to hide it, what future did she have after that? No matter how hard she tried to maintain the lie, it would be impossible to keep the truth hidden forever. Exactly, like, seriously, Natsumi. You can't be mad at someone calling the police on you after you stab them. But Natsumi is in no sane condition right now to even think about that. So in the end, that particular argument was probably invalid. However, it would be selfish to completely disregard the present situation like that.
どうしたの？
What's wrong?
自分の罪の重さに声も出ない？
Is your voice being crushed under the weight of your sins?
怖さに涙も出な
Are
い？
you too afraid to cry?
でももう遅いんだから。
It's already too late though!
いくら謝ったって自分の罪の重さを悔やんだとしても私はお前を絶対に許さない。
Even if you apologize and repent under the weight of your sins, I will never forgive you!
誰が謝るかこのボケ。
Woo! Who's apologizing, moron?
頭冷やして出直してきやがれ。
Y'all should go cool off and come back later. Y'all heard me? Now go on, get! Surprised, Natsumi's eyes opened wide for a moment, but she quickly recovered her original coldness. Nevertheless, I was surprised to get a reaction out of her, but based on her expression, I realized an unpleasant situation was developing.
私があんたを裏切った。
Y'all think I betrayed you?
その言葉そっくりそのままお返しするよ。
I'll tell you exactly how it is.
先に裏切ったのはあんたの方だろ、夏美。
You're the one who betrayed us first, Natsumi.
ひなみ沢の出身だってことを隠してこそこそうじうじしててさ。
Keeping the fact that you were from Minawazawa hidden, sneaking around and doing questionable things.
見ていて気分悪かったよ。
I felt bad just watching.
下手な嘘つき続けて悲劇のヒロインごっこで酔ってんじゃないよ、この読書オタク。
Y'all kept on going with your terrible lies, getting drunk on the notion of being tragic heroine, like some kind of weird recluse.
What?
She's clearly egging her on. Ah, this is it. I'll take my destiny in my own hands. I won't back down. But ultimately, I need to fulfill my obligations as a friend. So I turned to Natsumi.
だいたいね、出身がどうので差別されるなんて話、一体いつの戦争前の話だよ。
Y'all really never talked about where you're from before all this, right?
悪いけど、私は大災害とかが起きるまで、ひなみ沢なんてところ全然知らなかったし、興味もなかったよ。
I'm sorry, Sugar, but I didn't know a lick about Hinamizawa until the disaster struck, so I just wasn't interested.
だって私はこの町で生まれて育ったんだから。
Because I was born and raised in this here town.
なのに、私の町の自慢しただけで田舎者だってバカにしただのどうのって。
I posted about this town often enough that it may have felt like I was looking down on all country folk and regard them as stupid rednecks, which is quite ironic given the voice Collider gave me.
自分の町を自慢してどこが悪い？
But is there anything inherently wrong with being proud of your own town?
バカにされたって思うのは あんたのコンプレックスだろ。
Your mental complex drove y'all to believe I was making a fool out of y'all.
ひがんで言いがかりつけてんじゃないよ、このタコ。
I never said anything like that, you know? Shut up!
どんなに言い訳しても、お前が東堂君のことで裏切ったのは事実だ。
No matter what excuses you make, it's a fact you betrayed me about Toto-kun!
私を違う大学に行かせて、二人の間を裂こうとしたじゃないか。
You sent me to a different college because you were trying to split us apart, right?
はあ
Huh?
しっかり思い出しな。美咲大を選んだのはあんただろ。
Now, I'm sorry, Sugar, but didn't y'all choose Misaki University entirely on your own?
陸王大も紹介したけど、今の実力じゃ現役合格は難しいからって断念したのもあんたじゃない。
I suggested Rakuo University too, but you gave up on it because you thought you couldn't get in with your current grades.
とぼけるな。
Don't play dumb!
東堂君が陸王大に行って、お前も一緒に行くって分かってたら、すぐに断念したりするものか。
Toto-kun was going to Rikure University, and you were going too! If you had told me, I wouldn't have given up so quickly!
私にそうさせるよう仕向けておいて、私に責任を転嫁するな。
You let me do it. You can't push that responsibility up on me!
ああ、それは偶然そうなったんだから仕方ないでしょ。
That only happened by chance. It couldn't be helped.
陸王大はそもそも私の昔からの第一志望なんだから。
We ought to get one in. Rakuo University has been my first choice for the longest time.
私、あんたに言わなかったっけ？
Why didn't I tell y'all?
絶対言ったよ。私は覚えてる。
I'm certain I told you.
Oh yeah, come on, Chisato! Let's go kick her ass!
Who the hell are y'all?
I'm an observer. Never mind. Just go back to what you were doing.
I remember.
で、アキラが死亡したのは偶然だし、そもそもあいつの死亡って私のずっと後に提出したのよ。
And it was a coincidence that Akira applied there too. He submitted his application long after I did, okay?
むしろそれなら裏切ったのはアキラってことになるんじゃない？
Oh! In that case, wouldn't it be more accurate to say that Akira betrayed y'all?
嘘だ！
Liar!
お前が東堂君をそそのかしたんだ！
You seduced him!
Oh, honey, I seduce everybody. You, Akira? Oh, don't hate the player, hate the game, sugar.
はぁ？
Huh?
なお一層にバカか、あんたは。
Now you're the one being stupid!
その程度で動くような男なら、この先どうやってうまくやっていく気だよ。
If your word a man's heart can persuade so easily, how can you expect to get along in the future?
言っとくがね、地球上の約半分は女なんだよ。
In case y'all didn't know, half the people on the planet are women, alright?
どれだけあんたがアキラに目隠しして周りの女の子を遠ざけたとしても、その空いた隙間から誘惑かけるやつは山ほど出てくるさ。
No matter how much y'all try to cover his eyes and keep the other girls away, there will always be people out there to tempt him.
そんな状況になってもよそに行かないよう惚れさせておくのが彼女の最低の義務だろうが。え？
Even in those situations, it's your basic obligation as lovers not to fall prey to that, right?
この
You bastard!
どうした？
Oh, what's wrong? You mad, sugar?
頭きたんならかかっておいで。
Did the thought finally make it through your thick skull? Before I could finish that sentence, Natsumi rushed at me with the kitchen knife in hand. My body stiffened for a moment, but still she was acting out of an emotional outburst, so her movements were straightforward and easy to predict. I just barely moved my body to the side to evade her attack, and she stumbled as her legs slammed into mine. Natsumi briefly lost control of her momentum, but quickly resumed her advance. Hello, Void Dweller, by the way. Welcome to the stream. I staggered for a moment to regain my footing, but quickly managed to maintain my position and turn around.
ほらほら、どうしたお兄さん。
Come on, you demon! What's wrong?
あんたの憎きちいちゃんはこっちだよ。
The Chi-chan y'all hate so much is right over here, sugar! Natsumi rose to her feet in a fit of rage, then slashed with the kitchen knife 2-3 times in a wide arc. The tip grazed my clothes and left a red streak along my skin. When the attack came up empty, I countered by grabbing her outstretched arms and vigorously pulling it close to my body. This is epic as shit. Damn! Then I struck her sharply on the back, and she bent down in a coughing fit. I grabbed her by the collar and then used a judo throw to throw her to the ground. Oh my god! Holy shit! Badass Chisato! Chisato is eternally best girl of the console arcs. My god! Oh my god! Seriously, holy shit! Damn! I just... Then what? Oh my god! Chisato is wailing on her! Oh my god! Then once more. Oh my god! Y'all think you can take me, punk? After suffering the pain of being thrown to the ground 3 times, Natsumi finally loosened her grip on the knife. The moment I noticed the opportunity, I stomped on her wrist with all the strength of my entire body. Then I kicked the weapon as far away as I could. This is amazing!
なめんなよ、こら。
Don't underestimate me!
こちとら、今までそれなりに場数踏んできてんだ。
I have plenty of experience.
刃物振り回してきたって、固まって動けなくなるとでも思ったか？
Oh my god, this is epic and anime as shit, and I am all here for it! Did y'all think you're invincible just because you were swinging a knife around?
運動音痴のあんたが逆立ちしたって力で叶うと思うなよ。
A delicate person like y'all won't stand a chance! Pressing the attack with the momentum I built up, I pushed Natsumi down on her back and straddled her like a horse, then grabbed her by the collar again.
大体ね、何が裏切っただ？
You think I betrayed y'all?
友達じゃないだ。
That we're not friends?
あんたの言う信頼ってのは自分の言うことを何でもホイホイ聞いてくれる関係で、それを叶えてくれるやつが友達か。
If y'all honestly believe that, listen to me! Isn't a friend someone who will support you?
だったらおあいにくさまだね。
Then I'm sorry.
私は気に入らない頼みは遠慮なくお断りする正直者で、文句だって手だっていくらでも出す性分さ。
I don't like people who refuse to be honest, who can't bring themselves to talk about their problems.
それから自分の期待通りのものが返ってこなかったからって怒るのは結構だけどさ、それじゃああんたは私たちに何をしてくれたよ。
My god. This is incredible. I think this is the first time it's happened in the history of Higurashi, when a normie was able to fully match someone under the influence of Hinamizawa. Oh my god, damn. Chisato, holy fuck. If y'all want to get angry when hardships sneak up on y'all, that's fine. But then, what'd you do to us after that?
どんなことでお返しをしてくれたの？
What'd you do?
言える？
Were you able to talk to us?
言えないでしょ。
You couldn't, could you?
言いたいことも言わず、 自分ばっかりいい子気取っていい思いして、私たちのことは知らんぷりなんて、それで友達かよ。
Y'all never said anything. You just tried to handle everything on your own, and you left us out of it. Is that really what a friend should do? Huh?
お前に
You!
お前に私の何がわかるって言うんだ。
What do you even know about me? Huh. Should I tell her what I know about her awful condition? That she brings up special circumstances as an excuse to put herself on a pedestal and disregard the people around her? All right, if it's come to this, I'll tell her how I honestly feel.
ああ、わからないさ。
Damn. Chisato. Stealing the show. I can't think of a better way for this to end. Oh my god. I was not expecting this. Like, this scene alone is bumping up Kageboushi in my books. Holy shit. I don't know what to think.
わかりたくもないね。
Y'all don't want me to understand!
あんたの田舎じゃあうんの呼吸で思いが通じ合えるのかもしれないけどね。あいにく私は超能力者でも心理学者でもないんだ。
God, I love it. Chisato is the best, above the rest. Woo! Chisato! Chisato! Y'all have a completely different upbringing and a completely different way of thinking, so it must be difficult for y'all to communicate. Unfortunately, I'm not a psychologist and I'm not a psychic.
言葉にしてくれなきゃ伝わらないし、あんたの気持ちもさっぱりわかりゃしないんだよ。
If y'all can't talk to me and tell me how you feel, I'll never understand!
そんな風に甘え根性だから、あんたはいつまで経っても田舎者で、この町じゃよそ者扱いなんだ。
But y'all can't do that because you're still stuck in your reclusive country ways and you're not willing to open up to anyone in this town.
お前は
You! Uh-oh. Oh, she bit her. I do agree. Oh, yeah, the pacing of this arc was really weird overall. But, and honestly, the few scenes we had with Natsumi and her friends were the highlights, I think. But I'll save my thoughts after this scene ends, after this chapter ends, because this is fucking incredible. That moment, Natsumi stuck her teeth deep into my hand. Frightened, I pulled my hand back and raised my head. Natsumi pushed me away, and I noticed a hint of desperation in her eyes as I tumbled back. Uh-oh. Then, when I managed to scramble to my feet, I saw Natsumi off in the distance picking up the knife that I kicked away earlier. And then she turned toward me with her rage flaring up brighter than before. I have to say, Void Dweller, overall, I do think Somei Tsushi is better. No question. But, I would have thought much worse of Kageboushi without this scene. I do not think Kageboushi is bad by any means. Like, I didn't hate it. It didn't piss me off. Like, it didn't, like, make me frustrated at the story like Yoigoshi did. Like, I'm gonna just say right out, it's no secret, I didn't really have fun with Yoigoshi. I didn't like it that much. But Kageboushi was kind of in a different way. The pacing was really weird in Kageboushi, in that there was all this investigation, but the police didn't really learn that much at all, so it felt like not that much happened. I was honestly struggling to come up with things to say in the last time summaries I put in the video description. And, but either way, I'm glad that I'm glad we have things like this at least. And then she turned towards me with her rage flaring up brighter than before. Uh-oh. Time for round 2.
ありゃできんじゃん。さすが田舎育ち。
So that's it then. Of course, I grew up in the country. I wiped away the sweat running down my forehead with the back of my hand. When I looked at the sleeve of my pajamas, I noticed it was covered in reddish-black spots. Apparently, I had blood flowing from an open wound mixing together with my sweat.
まったく何の人気映画だよ。
No kidding! Seriously, this is like an action movie. Though, those usually result in many manly fistfights. Come to think of it, don't think I've seen many of those fights between two girls. I grabbed one of the crutches I had slipped down next to the bench and held up with both hands to block the knife. When Natsumi saw that, she pulled back for a moment to assess the situation, but shortly thereafter she let out a bold laugh with a twisted expression on her face. What's so funny?
やっぱりだ。
Just as I thought.
やっぱりお前は嘘つきだ。
You're a liar after all!
こんな風に殴って投げ飛ばして痛めつけたくなるくらい私のことを嫌ってたくせに。
Natsumi has completely lost all logical reasoning in her mind. She's defending herself from you, you idiot! You're willing to hit me and throw me around! You hate me so much that you want to hurt me!
今までよくも友達を語ってくれたな。
All this time you've been deceiving your friends!
ああ、そうかい。
Ah, so that's it.
勝手に思う分は自由さ。
You're free to think those selfish thoughts.
けど、それならあんたはどうなのよ。
But then, what about y'all?
友達だと思ってたくせによくもその相手に刃物振り回せるもんだね。
Even though I thought we were friends, here y'all are swinging a knife at me.
友達なものか。
You think we're friends?
お前なんか嫌いだ。大嫌いだ。
I hate you. I despise you!
初めて会った時からずっと嫌いだった。
This really is like an action movie, or like the climax of a long-running anime. Since I first met you, I've hated you all this time!
また矛盾したことを言いやがって。
The things y'all are saying don't add up.
そんなに嫌いならなんで最初話に乗ってきた。
If y'all hated me so much, why'd you talk to me in the first place?
私を拒んだりしなかった。
Why didn't you reject me right away?
あんたもともと一人が大好きだったんだろ。
You wanted to be alone from the start?
最初から嫌がってりゃ望み通りにしてやったのに。なんでさ。
If you really hated me this whole time, why didn't you just do as you wanted? Shut up!
これで分かったでしょ、夏美。
Y'all understand that, right, Natsumi?
私も大概だけど、あんたも十分嘘つきさ。
You can say what you will about me, but you're lying too.
自分を偽って勝手に事実をでっち上げて。
You're lying to yourself, recklessly rewriting the facts.
ほんと頭にくるくらい昔の私にそっくりだよ。
Really, aside from how worked up y'all have gotten, you and I are exactly the same.
嘘だ。
Liar. Liar!
何もかも恵まれてるお前と私のどこが似ているって言うんだ。
How can you say you're the same as me? You've been blessed with everything!
恵まれてるだ。
Blessed.
なら聞くがね。あんたは本当の絶望ってやつを味わったことがあるか。
Holy shit, this scene is incredible. Y'all can say that, but have you ever chased the true despair?
どんなに言い訳してもやり直せない。
No matter what excuses y'all make, it can never be undone! My god, this is like Batman versus Bane shit.
元に戻らない。
He'll never come back!
それを後悔して何もかもが嫌になって。
Being tormented by regret, enduring that pain everywhere you go.
それでも終わりにできない辛さをあんたは知ってるのか。
But the pain will never end! Do you know that? You may have been raised in the darkness, Natsumi, but I was born in it!
いいじゃない。綺麗事だって。
I'm not just saying that.
いつか死ぬ直前になって自分の記憶の中を真っ黒に塗りつぶしたくなるような思いをするくらいならずっとそっちの方がマシよ。
We don't want to look back on our memories on the day we die and feel the need to paint them over in black.
やってみたこともやってみようとも思わなかったあなたにそんなこと言わせない。言われたくない。
Don't say that you never tried, or that you never want to try. Don't let anyone tell you that.
私が味わった地獄まで否定するな。
Don't deny the hell I've tasted! Damn, I bit my lip. Why? How could I hear the detective's voice in a place like this? I can see it all over the girl in front of me. It looks just like that detective's face back then.
どう？
How about it?
知らないでしょ。
Y'all don't know, do you?
知ってるわけがない。
You couldn't possibly know.
だってあんたは失敗を隠そうとしてさらに失敗を重ねてごまかしてきただけなんだから。
Because y'all just keep hiding your mistakes and deceiving the people around you over and over again.
今回のように。
Just like right now!
それで借金に借金を重ねて払いきれなくなったから自己破産か。
If y'all keep making withdrawals but you never repay your debts, you'll end up bankrupt, won't you?
すべての負債をぶっ壊してチャラにする気か。
And Dear You is playing. Oh my god. Do y'all think you'll just be forgiven for breaking all your debts? I just realized. Where are Chisato and Natsumi? The rooftop. At the end of an arc. Damn, this is amazing. I bet they did that on purpose. And it's sunset too.
これで分かったでしょ。
You have to understand.
つまりあんたの狂気ってのはただの責任転嫁の産物なんだよ。
I'm saying this is all because you're avoiding your responsibilities. Natsumi pushed forward. I continued using the crutches to parry her attacks, which would prove fatal if I wasn't careful. Of course, I abstained from attacking her myself. As would be far too risky, but I couldn't afford to say much to her either. Hello, Angeal, welcome back.
くそ、さすがにクラクラするな。
Shit, I'm starting to feel dizzy. Oh, it's just called You? Oh wait, I could have sworn it was called Dear You. The blood loss was finally catching up to me. At this point, I might be stuck at the hospital a while longer. Though it might be wishful thinking to believe I'll survive this as long as I'm hospitalized. Well, the first few notes were the same first few notes as Dear You.
殺してやる。
I'll kill you.
お前は、お前だけは絶対殺してやる。
Just you. I'm definitely, absolutely gonna kill you!
ああ、殺したきゃ殺せ。
Fine, kill me if you must.
それで終わりにするならね。
Then this will finally be over.
本当なら数日前に私はあんたに殺されてたんだ。
But if you truly felt that way, you would have killed me a few days ago.
それが1日2日伸びたからってどうってことないさ。
An extra 2 days don't make a difference.
こら
You!
だけどあんた私を殺してその後どうするっての？
Even so, what will y'all do after you kill me?
気に入らない奴はみんな殺して自分の世界から追い出して。
Kill everyone you don't like. Drive them out of your world!
どこまで行ったらあんたの気は済むのさ。
How far will you all go until you're satisfied?
あんたの理想の幸せってのは真っ暗な何にもない世界でたった一人でいることか。
The happiness you're pursuing will leave y'all all alone in a world of darkness! Natsumi was startled by that. Her shoulders suddenly drooped. Then, with her eyes open wide, for a moment she stopped and loosened her grip. Hearing the word alone brought back memories. Despite the voice in my head echoing kill, kill a moment ago, I thought back to that time. Back then I was certainly alone. My parents decided to transfer me without asking what I wanted. They put me in a high school I wasn't qualified to be in, and justified it by saying it's close to home, as though my efforts until that point had meant nothing. Like they didn't even belong in this world. The classwork was unreasonable, and the classmates had a completely different atmosphere. No matter where I looked, or how I thought about it, I felt completely out of place, like I was just floating along. It was depressing. It was hard. It was embarrassing. It felt empty. It was hard to breathe. But despite all that, from that day forward, I worked hard every day. I improved my grades, and even though I wasn't very good at dealing with other people, I managed to make some close friends. Being forced to start over in a new place meant building everything up from scratch, and that overwhelmed me with a dark, oppressive despair. What could I do? I was sick of it. I wanted things to get easier. The strange things the other kids said to me, the cold looks they gave me. And even if I tried to straighten things out, they'd push me down with harsh words and make me hate myself. I've tasted that feeling before, so being alone again would be fine. Plus, if my effort will result in nothing in the end, wouldn't it be better not bother right from the start? Right. I muttered to myself. I gave up everything back then.
何かお困りかね、転校生さん。
Damn, it feels like it's been forever since I've seen Chisato's sprite. Do y'all need any help, transfer student?
や、こんにちは。
Oh, hello.
今日もいい天気だね。
Nice weather we're having today. A girl suddenly came over to me and spoke in a friendly tone.
面白いね、あなた。
Interesting, aren't y'all?
Huh?
Me? When she called me interesting, I was truly happy. That was the first time anyone said I was interesting. I always did my best to keep up with everyone, never thinking about what kind of person I wanted to be myself.
改めて、はじめまして。私は牧村玉子。
Let's start over. I'm Tamako Makimura.
このクラスの学級委員長をやっています。
I'm this class's class president.
よろしくね、君吉さん。
And I'm also the straight man to this clown right here. Nice to meet you, Kimiyoshi-san.
私は佐伯千里。
I'm best girl Chisato Saiki.
よろしくね。
Nice to meet y'all. Simply because they introduced themselves to me, it felt like the two of them would become good friends. I was relieved. I was definitely happy. Right, that's right.
Honestly, I hated being alone. So much. For the longest time, even before I got sick, I always wanted to have someone there for me. But after being betrayed, I was terrified of losing it. And that fear grew stronger and stronger. Honestly, OA, ever since I was little, I wish that we could just have school from home. And just to see that that's actually kind of starting to happen now, it really warms my heart, honestly. If the whole school system can change, you know? The whole schooling system could just focus on learning. And not have to, and the teachers don't have to babysit kids. They just get to teach. Like, how much more will they like their jobs? But after being betrayed, I was terrified of losing it, and that fear grew stronger and stronger. So I struggled to believe that. And then,
私もね、あなたと同じように絶望して何もかも信じられなくなったことがある。
just like you, I lost myself to despair and refused to believe in anything.
たった一人で悩んで苦しんで、どうして私だけがこんな目にって世の中すべてを恨んだりもしたわ。
I struggled alone, I suffered, and I questioned why things only happened to me. I hated everything in the world.
でもね、
But even so,
何も信じられないのって本当に辛いことなの。
I didn't believe in anything, and it was really painful.
疑えば疑うほど周りの人は私のことを信じてくれなくてどんどん離れていく。
The more I doubted the people around me, the more they stopped believing in me, and it kept driving them away.
みんな
Everyone.
だからずっと自分が一人ぼっちで寂しくて怖くて悲しくて。
That's why I felt alone, lonely, scared, and sad.
夏美さん、あなたは耐えられるの？
You think it's unbearable, Natsumi-san?
私には耐えられなかった。
I couldn't bear it myself! Me too. I was just like that detective. Always struggling to endure it. Just the thought of being alone made me feel sad and terrified. So even if it hurt, I had to push myself. But it's already too late. After everything that's happened, things will never go back to the way they were. In that case, where do I go from here exactly? I've been selfishly running away until now, destroying everything in my path. So what does that leave me with? The agonized expression on Natsumi's face indicated that she was struggling to make a decision. Once I saw that, I was convinced. It's still not too late. She hasn't fallen so far into darkness that she'll never come back. If that's the case, I can call her back. Even if it's impossible, at the very least I can try to reach her.
あんたの夏美の気持ちは私にもわかる。
Natsumi, I can understand how you feel.
でもだったらなんでそこまで幸せになりたいならあんたは自分で努力しないの？
But if you want to be happy, why aren't you pushing yourself harder?
頑張らないの？
Are you really trying your hardest?
あんたにはそれができる力があるのに。
You have the power to do it.
私が望んでも手に入らないいいところいっぱい数えきれないほどあるのに。
If you really want it, there are so many things you can do if you push yourself.
どうして？
So why not? It may not have been very long, But for the two of us, with all the things that have been happening until now, time has been wasting away. Then,
私だって
Because of me.
finally, that was exhausting. The burning glow in Natsumi's cold eyes gradually dispersed, and they began to fill with massive tears. Wait! Shisato, you did it! You pulled a Keiichi! The timid look on Natsumi's face looked completely different from the wicked expression she wore until a moment ago. However, even though I had no basis to think so, I was confident that the face in front of me was Natsumi's real face.
私だってずっと努力してきた
I've been working hard all this time.
いろんなこと我慢しておかしな人間だってひなみ様の犯罪者だって思われたくないからみんなに合わせて従って
Enduring all kinds of things and weird people. Because I didn't want people to think I was one of those dangerous criminals me and Oizawa. Like everyone seemed to think.
You didn't want people to think you were a dangerous criminal, but... So you became a serial killer. Oh god, Natsumi. Jeez.
だけどみんな分かってくれなかった
Nobody would understand.
私にどんどんいろんなこと勝手にわけのわからない決めつけをかけて追い込んできて
More and more things kept piling up. And I just didn't know what to do.
辛かったのに
It hurt.
本当に私辛かったのに
Honestly, it hurt so much.
夏美
Natsumi. That was the darkness the real Natsumi had been hiding all this time. The sadness, the inferiority complex, those dark emotions were able to accumulate. She hated being from a rural town near Hanamizawa. She hated thinking that she was inferior to kids from the city, and those thoughts haunted her far too often. She was forced to suppress her wishes and aspirations, and she continued to endure it. Right, she always endured it, and even if it was only for a short while, it must have felt like an eternity. Desperately trying to keep herself under control and fit in with her surroundings, that couldn't possibly be easy for a girl with no self-confidence. I was finally able to understand. This girl was just struggling to figure out the right way to do everything. Schoolwork, her values, her identity in the city, socializing with the people around her, her future, her aspirations. She lost sight of who she was in the chaos of all those things. In all her efforts to be normal like everyone else, she struggled and went astray, and then it broke her. So the most important thing she needed was an act of kindness, compassion. She had a tendency to take things other people said to heart and acknowledge them. So if that happened, she would try to make amends to steer herself towards that goal.
みんな助けてくれなかった
Everyone refused to help me.
私何度も助けてほしいってお願いしたのにみんなと同じになりたかったのに
I asked for help so many times. I wanted to be like everyone else.
ひなみさんのこと家族のことどうすればいいか分かんなくなって
After everything in Hinamizawa, I didn't know what to do about my family.
だから私こうするしかいい方法が思いつかなかった
So I couldn't think of a better way of dealing with all this.
Of course,
So I need to step forward. Right now, she's not just looking for some superficial notion of friendship. The one thing Natsumi truly needs is someone who could stand with her and talk to her, who she can truly open her heart to.
あんたバカか。
Are y'all really that stupid?
辛かったんならやめちまえばよかったんでしょ。
If it was so painful, y'all should have stopped.
一人で考えるくらいなら吐き出せばよかったんじゃない。
Even if you thought you were alone, you really should have spoken up.
何のための友達よ。何のために私たちがいるんだよ。
That's what friends are for. That's what we're here for. The one thing Natsumi wanted most was for someone to simply acknowledge her existence. She wanted to have a will of her own, to have the courage to think for herself, to get lost and make choices, and she was just looking for a friend to share that with.
大体なんでそこで抱えるのよ。
Man, why are y'all still holding that?
あんたのそれは努力なんかじゃない。
That's not what it means to give everything you've got.
勝手に諦めてそこで立ち止まっただけじゃないの。
Y'all just carelessly gave up and stop right there.
夏美、努力ってのは我慢じゃないんだよ。
Natsumi, y'all didn't have the patience to see your efforts through to the end.
頑張るってのは気持ちを曲げることじゃないんだよ。 自分の思いを相手に分かってもらえるまで説得して理解してもらって。
Y'all have to keep working hard without letting your feelings waver. Only you can understand your own thoughts, so you have to persuade others to make them understand.
ちゃんと実現させることが努力だって言うんだよ。
And it won't happen unless you put in sufficient effort. Yes, only now was I able to understand. Finally, I finally understood the true nature of what I need to do for Natsumi. Anyone in a group can have trouble speaking up about the things they need. So you can't ignore the people around you. If you just keep your wishes locked away, the pain will become unbearable. In that case, you have to share your thoughts with the people around you. Let them know how you feel. If you can convince others to understand your wishes, surely they'll come true. And up until now, we haven't been doing that. Instead, we've been afraid of hurting others. Afraid they'll hurt us, avoiding the problem. But it's different now. To be a true friend, sometimes it's necessary to clash over your ideals. So it may be necessary to fight, and it may take a while before you're able to reach understanding. However, by doing so, you'll be able to resolve all your doubts, reservations, and misunderstandings. Because friends who are able to share their true feelings are more precious than anything else.
夏美、
Natsumi. I tossed aside the crutches I had in my hand and walked over to Natsumi. Even if she went to another violent outburst, I didn't care. Even if she went to another violent outburst, I didn't care. Don't come closer!
私さ、あんたにずっと悪いことしたって思ってた。
I thought you were the one in the wrong all this time.
あんたのことちゃんと理解して力を貸してあげられなくて。
I thought y'all were the only one in the wrong this whole time, till I understood you properly. I wasn't able to lend you my strength.
でもさ、夏美、
I wasn't able to lend you my strength. But Natsumi,
それはお互い様だよ。
that's true for both of us.
あんたも私たちのこと全然分かってくれてなかった。
But Natsumi, that's true for both of us. You couldn't understand us at all.
力を貸してって頼ってくれなかった。
And you couldn't rely on us to help you.
だから私もうあんたに謝らない。
So I won't apologize anymore.
だけど
However, after saying that, I walked up right in front of Natsumi, still holding that kitchen knife, and turned straight towards her.
その代わりさ、私これからはあんたにちゃんと向き合うよ。
5 minutes left. I'll take a bathroom break then, apparition. Instead, let's face each other properly from now on.
そしてちゃんと夏美の話を聞く。
Instead, let us face each other properly from now on. Then I'll listen to your problems properly. Properly and properly.
その代わり夏美も私の話を聞いて。
And then, y'all can listen to my problems too, Natsumi.
お願い。
Please.
だからさ、夏美、もう一度一緒に頑張ろうよ。
Yes, Chisato, next time. Yes, next world line. So, Natsumi, next time, let's do our best. Together.
もう私は絶対間違いない。
I absolutely will. No doubt doubt it.
あんたとずっと友達で、あんたのこといつまでもどこまでも信じ続ける。
So, Natsumi, next time, let's do our best together. I absolutely will. No doubt about it. I'll always be there for my friends, and I'll never stop believing in y'all! This is just like Sumi
だ
Higurashi.
から私のことも
So
信じてほしい。
please, believe in me too.
ダメかな。
Is that so unreasonable? The rage in Natsumi until a moment ago began to diminish, and her shoulders started to droop. Then she faintly nodded to me. seeing her like that, I held my slashed and battered hand out to her with all my might.
It's already too late.
Nevertheless, Natsumi looked at me with tears in her eyes as she said that.
私いっぱい大切な人を殺してしまった。
I've already killed my loved ones.
お母さん、お父さん、おばあちゃん、3人になんて謝って償えばいいのかわかんないし。
Mom, Dad, Grandma. Oh, Mom.
Mom, Dad, Grandma. I don't know what I can do to atone for that.
それに言ったんだ。私が私じゃなくなってきて。頭の中、もうむちゃくちゃだもん。
I'm losing myself inside my head. It's absolutely awful.
みんなを嫌って憎んで殺したいって気持ちもう抑えられない。
I hate everyone. I can't hold back this urge to kill everyone.
疲れちゃったの。
I'm getting tired of it.
もう
If that's the case, there's only one answer. What I couldn't do for Kawi back then, I'll do it now, without a moment of hesitation.
なら私も付き合うよ。
In that case, I'll go with y'all.
私あんたと一緒に地獄まで付き合ってあげる。
I'll go to hell and back, together with you.
きっと友達ってのは
Absolutely. We're friends.
こうやって気持ちをぶつけ合えてやっと本物なんだよ。
Absolutely. We're friends. These feelings inside my heart are completely genuine.
殴り合いなんて本当は良くないんだろうけどさ。
Even if we might fight from time to time.
今なら私心の底から夏美のことを友達だって胸張って言えるよ。
From now on, you're my friend, Natsumi. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
千里ちゃん。
Chisato-chan.
一人じゃ寂しいんでしょ。
Isn't it lonely, doing everything on your own?
ならいいじゃん。
Then, this should be alright.
もうあんた一人で背負う必要なんてない。
In that case, there's no need for y'all to shoulder everything on your own.
一緒に落ちてあげるよ。
We can do it together, sugar.
さっきも言ったけど本当なら数日前に亡くした命なんだからさ。
I told you earlier. Y'all really didn't want to kill me a few days ago, right?
私
I was.
Yeah, that's it, Natsumi. You won't have to despair alone. I failed just as much as you before this. If this is how it ends, I'll be completely satisfied. So you don't have to keep blaming yourself. If you want to reduce yourself to 0, I'll go with you. And if I see you again next time, I'll be able to do things properly.
I'm sorry.
やめろ君吉
It faded to black and it wouldn't click.
Stop, Kimiyoshi!
夏美さん
Natsumi-san!
Too late, guys. My girl, Chisato, did it all on her own. Woo! When Akira and Akasaka finally arrived, they found what looked like Chisato wrapped around Natsumi. Time came to a halt. Though the two of them were holding one another, they didn't move. Akasaka, Uishi, and Akira were crushed by the regret that they couldn't stop this tragedy. While staring at the two of them, all they could do was tremble. However,
Huh?
the knife fell from Natsumi's hands and clattered along the ground. On that dazzlingly bright blade, there were no traces of blood.
夏美
Natsumi.
千里さん
Chisato-chan. Natsumi trembled as she slowly raised her head. Her eyes, which were cloudy and empty until a while ago, began to glimmer and shine.
ごめんごめんね
Sorry. I'm sorry.
思い出したよ
I remembered. Huge tears began overflowing down her face.
初めて会った時からさとちゃんは優しかった
Oh my god, look at this! Oh my god! Look at Chisato's hair down too! Wow, girl, you should totally keep it like that. Oh my god. What a precious CG. Oh my god. This is fantastic. You've always been so kind to me, Chisato-chan. Ever since we first met.
私のこといつも気遣って心配してくれた
Damn. Is Chisato gonna get Natsumi after all? Holy shit. You've always cared about me and looked out for me. Why did I forget? Why? How could I think my precious friends hated me? I was throwing everything away, even my life. Even as I fell into darkness and despair, she continued reaching out to me with no regard for the danger. My irreplaceable best friend.
夏美あんた
Seriously, in all seriousness, Chisato, you should keep your hair like that. It looks so good. Natsumi, what?
それなのに私
Even so,
いろんなことがあって怖くて不安で何を信じていいのかわからなくなって
there were so many things I was afraid and anxious about. I didn't know what to believe in.
ごめんなさいごめんなさいごめんなさい
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Natsumi pressed her face into Chisato's chest as more tears continued spilling out. While looking at that, Chisato realized that her precious friend, who she loved so much, had finally returned to her. Natsumi!
佐藤ちゃん
Oh my god. Chisato-chan! Welcome back, Natsumi. I'm here, Chisato-chan. Damn. Wow. At first I thought Natsumi x freaking Chisato was out of the running because she loved Akira so much, but I don't know. It's a toss-up at this point now. The happiness the two of them shared, blurred and mixed together. The cry of the Higurashi echoed through the sunset sky, because there were so many Sumi Horoboshi parallels with that. Holy shit. My god. Thinking of a friend shows true kindness. And trying to face your hardships head on requires serious courage. It's not an easy thing to put into words. And even then, there's no guarantee that bringing the truth to light will lead to happiness. Even so, a deep darkness is buried in every heart. But when hit with a strong enough light, it can allow you to take the last step and leave the present behind. Oh, here we go. Okay, Tomitake and yeah, Takano. Okay, his EDA's fate was the same. Oh, Kumagai died in this continuity. And all the main friends, they don't have specific deaths here. Suffered minor injuries. Voluntarily turned herself in. She is arrested for pending trial over the ceased. Oh, she's not mental illness. The court ruler not guilty. Oh my god! Oh my god! Holy shit. I'm pretty sure there's a post-credits though. Damn, that was very Sumi Horoboshi reminiscent. I'm pretty sure there's a long post-credits epilogue because the whole plot with the detectives, who are like 75% of this story at least, was not resolved. Mages. Mages helped out with this? Are you serious? Really, mages? Oh, wow. Yeah, there's a post-credit scene, which is long. I know the post-credit scene is kind of long. I do know that. And then a tiny little thing they call an epilogue, even though that post-credit scene kind of is an epilogue. Yep, Apparition's got it right there in the chat. Mages did the music for the console version. Thanks, OA. I didn't realize that. Okay, you guys. With that, I'm just going to take a little bathroom break. I'll be right back. And yep, we're going to finish it today. It definitely looks like we'll have time. We might run a bit over, but yeah, I'm hyped enough. And I honestly, I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I did not expect the finale to this to be that badass and that amazing. I loved that final chapter there. Everything I could have asked for from the console arcs right here. I wish what preceded it was a bit better and kind of more focused on those characters. I feel like a lot of the detective plot was like a wild goose chase in a way, in that a lot of it just went unresolved. Except for maybe like stuff like Tomoe talking to Natsumi. But it just from what we did see of the friend group of Natsumi and Chisato, I really love those scenes. I just wish there were more of them, and I wish they were the majority of the chapter instead of the detective scenes, which really didn't add up to much aside from knowing about like here and there knowing more about Tomoe's family situation. But yeah, that's I don't think this post-credit scene is going to change much, but that's my basic thought on Kageboushi. I thought the pacing was extremely slow for a lot of the detective sections, and the fact that not a lot happened in their sections either, until it seemed like abruptly cut short with Tomoe's death, which even that didn't seem to add to to lead them to much that we saw on screen anyway. Maybe the epilogue will change that, but overall, I would have to say the finale kind of made it for me. I was on the fence on this one for a while, but that finale was freaking amazing. Oh my god. Like, they had to do, like, my favorite character going on a non-stop, like, both verbal and physical beatdown. And, like, on Natsumi like that, and bring her back from the abyss. Now that was fantastic. Fan-fucking-tastic scene. That is just screams what Higurashi can truly be when it's at its best. And I just love that scene. But now I really do have to go to the bathroom, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and let's get back to the story.
この道を進んで、それから
We're supposed to follow this road then.
Papa!
Oh, baby Miyuki!
Oh, Papa! あそこに地図があるよ. Isn't that a map over there?
Miyuki pointed to a local directory as she said that. I compared the map with the directions written in the invitation, and determined that we would make it there if we just walked a little farther.
Yuki, Yuki!
Yay! Snow! I guess Miyuki hasn't seen snowfall this thick very often. She's been playing in it since we left the station. This town didn't have many people coming and going, so the snow along the roadside was still fairly clean. It was a comfortable walk, and I left a neat trail of footprints behind me as I went.
こらこらみゆき
Come on, Miyuki.
あんまり走り回ると危ないぞ
It's dangerous to run around too much, you know?
平気だわー. Are you okay? What?
Miyuki answered vigorously, but she lost her footing shortly after and tumbled to the ground. Thankfully, she was wearing her raincoat. And since the ground was covered in soft snow, I didn't have to worry about her getting seriously hurt. But considering where we were headed,
It didn't seem like proper behavior.
冷たい
So cold.
雪って面白いねパパ
Isn't snow interesting, Papa?
面白い
Interesting.
そうだな。
I guess so. Really, you're the one that makes the snow interesting, Miyuki.
I suddenly muttered in my head. Honestly, just looking at her smiling face warmed my heart. If I didn't have Miyuki in my life, how much worse would my life be?
今度休暇ができたらスキーにでも行こうか。
How about we go skiing next time we're on vacation?
そうだ。北海道はどうだい？
Yeah, how about we go to Hokkaido?
大石さんも。みゆきが行けばきっと喜んでくれるよ。
I'm sure Uishi-san will be pleased to see you.
大石のおじいちゃんみ
Oh, Natsumi,
ゆきも会いたい
yeah, I want to see him too.
楽しみにしてるねパパ
I'm looking forward to it, Papa. So Yukie died in this timeline. Oh god, that's so sad. But considering my tireless work schedule, I had no idea when I'd be able to fulfill that promise. Still, I made a promise to Miyuki, so I'd have to do my best to follow through. She was never the type to keep asking when. Apparently my in-laws told her, it's annoying when you ask that. She's a really smart, really kind girl, and I'm disappointed that I have to spend so much time away from her. Damn. Here's a brand new background. After walking for a while, we reached a larger road and were able to see a wider area around us. Then I spotted a small church off in the direction we were headed.
Whoa.
Seeing the building covered in white snow gave it a majestic atmosphere and gave me a pious feeling. Someone once told me that snow was the breath of God, gathering the world's sorrows into heaven, then falling from the sky. So this weather was proof that God had forgiven her sin. I wanted to believe that.
赤坂さん
Oh, Chisato's here. Oh, Akasaka-san!
こっちですこっち
Over here, over here.
お
I turned toward the source of the voice and noticed two women standing in front of the gate, waving vigorously in my direction. For a moment, I wasn't sure who they were, but as I got closer, it all came back to me, and I couldn't help but smile.
お久しぶりです赤坂さん
Long time no see, Akasaka-san.
来てくれてありがとうございます
Thank y'all for coming.
ご無沙汰してます佐伯さん。
It's been a while, Saiki-san.
まだ佐伯でよかったんでしょうか。
Oh, would it be alright if I called you Saiki now?
ええどっちでも
Oh, sure, whatever.
なんでしたらエリザベスでもアントワネットでも私的には OK ですよ
Okay, kind of random. I'd even be okay if y'all call me Elizabeth or Antoinette in private, alright?
それは名前だ名字じゃないっての
Oh my god. I swear, like in Charlie Brown, there was the girl who liked Charlie Brown, and then there was all there was this little glasses girl who followed her around, and that's what friggin' Tamako reminds me of. I forget their names though. I think one of them was called Lucy or Peppermint Patty. I forget which one was which. I think Lucy was the blue one that was an asshole. I think so. You're aware that those are first names, not last names, right?
今日は遠路はるばる本当にありがとうございます
You've come a long way to be here today. Thank you very much.
雪で電車とかが止まらないかってちょっと心配してました
I was a little worried that trains would stop running due to the snow.
ええ。早めに出て正解でしたよ。
Yeah, I left early so I didn't have any problems.
あ、遅くなりましたが、今日はご招待いただきましてありがとうございます。
Oh, even though I'm a little late in saying this, thank you for the invitation.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much. Miyuki followed my lead and bowed her head as she said that. When the two of them saw that, they shouted, "Cute!" in a shrill voice and crouched down to start talking to my daughter.
あ、お二人とは会えますか？
Oh, would it be alright to see our two guests of honor?
ええ、まだ平気です。
Yeah, that should be fine.
今は新郎の方が走り回って大変みたいだから、先に新婦に会ってあげてください。
Oh my god. They're there for... Is it Akira and Natsumi? She really did bring Natsumi back from the brink. Holy shit. I guess because Natsumi was a minor, she wasn't charged like for the full extent of what happened, and also due to her mental illness. But she must have spent quite a bit of time in like rehab. Holy shit. Oh my god. Wow. What a nice little bookend on this. Oh my god. The groom is busy running errands at the moment, so y'all should go see the bride first.
わかりました。
Oh my god.
Understood.
娘さんなら私たちが。
We can watch your little girl for you.
お名前なんていうの？
Could you tell me your name?
赤坂みゆきです。
Oh, she's so cute. I'm Yuki Akasaka.
えらいえらい。
Nicely done.
じゃあみゆきちゃん、お姉ちゃんたちとあっちで雪だるま作ろっか。
Well, Miyuki-chan, do you want to go make a snowman with us? Do you want to build a snowman? Oh, yeah, I watched that movie 58 times. Yay! After that exchange, the two of them walked to the garden with Miyuki. I thanked the two of them for taking care of her, then made my way to the church. Oh my god, what a wonderful way to end this.
どうぞ。
Come in. I heard a gentle voice and a bell from inside the room beckoning me, so I opened the door. She was sitting alone by the windowsill, but as soon as she saw my face, she stood up with a bright smile.
赤坂さん、
Oh, Akasaka-san.
来てくださったんですか？
So you were able to come after all?
ええ。ご無沙汰して申し訳ありません。
Yeah, sorry for not keeping in touch.
今日はご招待いただきありがとうございます。
Thank you for inviting me here today.
いや、おめでとうございますかな。
No, I guess I could say congratulations.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much. Then she pointed to one of the empty chairs and said, Please have a seat.
あきらくんももうすぐ戻ってくると思います。
Oh my god, what a way to end this. What a way to end this. I think Akira-kun will be back soon.
彼も赤坂さんには会いたがっていましたから。
He wants to see you too, Akasaka-san.
それは嬉しいですね。
I'm glad to hear it.
あいにく大石さんはちょっと体調を崩されたらしくて。
Unfortunately, Uishi-san is feeling a little under the weather.
とても残念がっていました。
He's really sorry about that.
あなたたちにはくれぐれもよろしくとことつてを預かっています。
But he asked me to give you all his best regards.
そうですか。
I see.
残念ですが仕方ないですよね。
What a way to end it on an even 50. That's unfortunate, but I suppose it can't be helped.
後でお手紙を送ります。
I'll send him a letter later. Suddenly, Natsumi-san and I turned our eyes out the window at the same time and enjoyed the snowy scenery. From here, we could see Saiki-san and Tamako-san playing with Miyuki in the garden.
お子さんですか？
Is that your daughter?
ええ、
Yes.
すみません。予定にはなかったのですが、どうしても一緒に行きたいと聞かなかったもので。
I'm sorry. I knew she wasn't on the invitation, but I couldn't leave her behind.
全然気にしないでください。
That's no, don't worry. I don't mind at all.
気にする人なんていませんから。
There aren't a lot of people here that would.
私の他には誰が？
So who else is here besides me?
式の参列者は千里ちゃんとたまこちゃんだけです。
Chisato-chan and Tamako-chan are attending.
あとはいません。
Really? Oh god. I guess that makes sense. Aside from that, nobody.
あきらくんのご両親も彼が気を使って。
Akira-kun's parents said they were too worried to attend.
そうですか。
I see.
I was able to understand what she was implying without asking any other details. Normally, the groom calls on the relatives to unite the family. However, there was nobody left in the bride's immediate family, and the groom's relatives were probably already familiar with the bride's poor public reputation. And of course, it would be difficult for the bride to call on her distant relatives, because anyone who came would be from Minamizawa.
あきらくんたちは絶対に言いませんけど、私知ってるんです。
Akira-kun is his family will never say it, but I know.
今日の式のことで私がご両親にご挨拶に伺う前、あきらくんご両親と絶縁寸前まで大喧嘩したんです。
Akira-kun called his parents before the ceremony today, and they argued the entire time.
ずいぶん時間をかけて説得してくれたんですよ。
It took a long time to make this happen.
それもあきらくんだけじゃなく、千里ちゃんもたまこちゃんも必死になって駆けずり回って協力してくれて。
And not just Akira-kun. Chisato-chan and Tamako-chan have been desperately running around and helping out.
そうですか。
I see.
Really, only 5 years have passed since the incident. Natsumi Kimiyoshi voluntarily came to Kageboushi Station with her friends and turned herself in. In the subsequent trial, the results of her psychiatric examination came out. A doctor submitted a report saying that her judgment was impaired by her mental illness. Thankfully, they were able to make great use of all the work Chief Inspector Minai put into researching her medication, so they were able to convince the prosecutors of her mental condition. Plus, her friends offered testimony in her defense. As a result, Natsumi Kimiyoshi was declared not guilty in the eyes of the court. But it was by reason of insanity, technically, so... Yeah, even so, not everything could be restored. The fact that she committed murder and tried to hide it was permanently attached to Natsumi Kimiyoshi's reputation. It became impossible to live in her old town, so she moved to a distant, secluded town. Unfortunately, she didn't move there alone. After that, Natsumi Kimiyoshi was admitted to a psychiatric hospital, having given treatment so intense it was like being bled.
The counseling, meditation, and rehabilitation continued for several years. Of course, it would have to be. Clearly. With that kind of verdict, they're not just gonna go let her back on the street. Like, exactly. It goes without saying. She received a lot of support from her two friends and the groom, Akira Todo. I'm sure it wasn't smooth sailing. It can't be easy to talk about all the hardships she suffered over the years. But even so, she did her best. And finally, she was able to meet him like this today.
少し前まで私ずっと死ぬことばかり考えていました。
A long time ago, all I ever thought about was dying.
自分の家族を殺して自分の友達や恋人の人生めちゃくちゃにして
Killing my family, trying to take the lives of my friends and the man I loved.
私に生きてる資格はあるのかなって
I questioned if I truly deserved to be alive.
まして幸せになるなんてこと私には
More than that, I wanted to be happy.
君吉さん
There's the train.
Kimiyoshi-san.
いや
No.
I quickly noticed my error and suddenly stopped myself. Then,
東堂夏美
Natsumi Toto.
この名前多分一生慣れないと思います
That name may take a lifetime to get used to.
だけど
However,
then Natsumi Todo raised her head to look up at me. I could still see the grief in her expression, but even so, she smiled. At least she tried to smile.
死ねませんよね
I can't die.
こんなにも私のことを大切に思ってくれる人がいて
Because there are people out there who care so much about me.
それなのに自分だけ楽な道を選ぶなんてこと
So I can't choose
絶対にできない
to take the easy path. Absolutely not.
しちゃいけないと思います
I don't think that's an option.
だから私これ以上幸せにはなれなくてもいい
So, I don't think I'll ever be any happier than this.
だってもう今が幸せなんだから
But that's okay because I'm happy right now.
その分誰かの私のことを思ってくれる人のために幸せのお手伝いをしたい
And for the people who care about me, I'd like to do what I can to make them happy.
今はそう思っています
Right now, that's what I'm thinking about.
ええそれでいいと思います
Yes, I think that sounds good.
あなたはまだ生きるべきなんです
You should continue to live your life.
ありがとうございます
Thank you.
As she listened to my words, Natsumi wiped the tears from her eyes. Then,
伝えたかったな
I wanted to tell her.
Huh?
私を強く励ましてくれたあの刑事さんに今の気持ちを
I wanted the detective to encourage me so strongly. To understand how I feel right now.
それだけが私の心残りです
That is my greatest regret.
oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! And look, she's so tired, but it's a tired, but she's happy. Oh my god! Yes! Oh my god! Oh my god! What a great way to end this. Amazing. Later, a small ceremony was conducted in the chapel. The priest held the Bible in his hand as he delivered his speech. I didn't see this in the thumbnails at all. I didn't see this at all in the thumbnails. The only people watching were her two friends, my daughter, and I. Thinking about it that way, it seemed like a lonely affair. Even so, I felt fortunate to be in attendance, as I could feel the happiness in the air clinging to my entire body.
では、誓いの指輪の交換を。
Now, please exchange the rings and say your vows. After the priest's declaration, the groom looked nervous as he pulled out the ring. Then he slid it onto her ring finger as he swore to spend the rest of his life with her. Oh my god. Natsumi gazed into him at that moment. Was she afraid? Was she sad? She trembled in embarrassment, guilt, and excitement as she faintly began moving her mouth to speak.
Akira-kun.
Akira-kun. Still, Natsumi pushed herself to smile. They gently embraced each other as lovers. Then, still holding hands, she pulled back to face her friends. For the people who encouraged and supported her, she quickly flashed them a genuine smile.
変わってしまった彼女の世界はとても残酷なものだけど。
Her world has changed. It's still very cruel, but
希望はある。絶対に。
there's still hope. I'm certain of that.
Oh, you bet your biscuits! Miyuki was staring at me with a vacant expression, so I turned to face her with a look of determination. I guess a day will come when I have to see this girl off too. When that day comes, I hope I can send her off with a smile. And when that day comes, I hope my daughter will have enough memories of happy days to be able to smile like this from the bottom of my heart, of her heart. Yes, that's what I decided, as the warm sentiment of the two people in front of me carried through to me. This is blessed. How blessed is this? My God. I think that I don't know how this was written in that. And yeah, that's the tiny epilogue letter from Madoka. I guess that we'll find out what happened to Madoka here. Let me read that before saying my final thoughts on Kageboushi. Greetings. How are you doing? As usual, we're doing fine in this lovely weather. The people in the village were a little aloof when we first moved here, but we've become good friends now. A lot of people came to celebrate Kaoru-san's 60th birthday last month. Oh, that's right. Kaoru-san was really embarrassed about it, but we dressed him in a red Chanko jacket, just like you do at his 60th birthday. I half-jokingly told him it'll last a lifetime, right, when he put it on, but it actually looked pretty good on him. We had a good laugh about it. I'll try to send the picture next time, okay? I also packaged some fresh summer oranges along with this letter. We harvested them this year, so please enjoy them together. I finally become older than Sis was. It's a shame that my child never had an opportunity to call someone aunt. But surprisingly, turning 30 wasn't so bad as I expected. Try 35. Does it upset you to hear that, Akasaka-san? These days, I've been able to stand over Sis's grave without crying. I originally wished that her grave was closer to Mom and Dad's, But now I'm starting to think this was the right decision. Sis was always working her hardest, going forward at full power without taking a moment to breathe. But now that there's nothing left to do for her in this world, I think she can rest quietly. Oh, but if there are police officers in heaven, maybe she's running around up there now. Also, Akasaka-san, going forward, please don't blame yourself for what happened to Sis. I told Koro-chan the same thing too. It's not anybody's fault. Sis was just carrying out her duties, so it's wrong to blame anyone other than the culprit. It was the nature of her position. I want the two of you to understand that. Instead, if you could redirect those feelings towards solving other cases, keeping the poor perpetrators off the streets, that would make me happy. Sometimes, Karu-san claps his hands together and apologizes at a grave, saying his inability to catch the culprit during his tenure at the station is his biggest regret. And each time I'd smack him as hard as I could. However, thanks to the hard work of Vegeta-san and the rest of the team, they were finally able to catch the suspect last year. So I think Sis will be glad to know that everyone did their best and refused to give up. So from now on, please do your best at work. I understand that the bureaucracy at the Metropolitan Police Department can make it seem impossible to achieve world peace. But Sis and I are praying for your success. So please, take care of yourself. Talk to you later. Madoka Yamaoki. Well, oh wait, yeah, that's true. We're almost done anyway, but yeah, if you gotta go, you gotta go. Shit. How do I get back to the title screen? Is it just continue? Yeah, okay, just continue. Well, I gotta say, everything I said before about Kageboushi still applies, but it seems like that this one kind of got away from the writers in that they wanted to do a story about the detectives, but then they realized they also had to wrap up everything in Somei Atsushi. And I think the detective plot meandered a lot, I have to say, in that there was a lot of backstory, yes, which was interesting, but as for what they were actually doing in the story itself, didn't really amount to much, other than revealing more about Tomoe's and Madoka's backstory, which I did think was interesting. But I don't think there was enough going on in their plot in the present day to justify spending so much time on it. But overall, I definitely enjoyed Kageboushi. The ending really brought it up for me. The ending, all of it, including both epilogues, were fantastic. We even got a happy ending, which is so rare in anything Higurashi. And I really, really enjoyed that. My best girl, Chisato, got the spotlight there in the end. And just, seriously. Oh, I did not do Miyotsukushi. The next one is right here, Tokyogushi, which looks like it stars Tomoe. And yeah, since Chaos Head looks like, I've been told that the special thing we're doing for Chaos Head will take around a month. So, perfect time. We're going to jump right into Tokyogushi next time.
But I'm not going to say goodbye just yet because we have one last police case file to do. And that's Metropolitan Epilogue right here. And after Higurashi, Void Dweller, we're going to take a little break from Higurashi. And we'll do Higanbana, which is the work that Ryukishi wrote right after Umineko. But it's much, much shorter. Very short. I'd say maybe the length of 2 of these console arcs, from what I've seen, for Higanbana. Because, yeah, I don't want to get too burned out on Higurashi. Now, yeah, Higurashi will be done on Friday, but that's also shorter than Kageboushi. That's going to be about 9 streams, I'm assuming, based on what I've seen about its length. Anyway, let's finish up this last police case file.
I guess that's everything.
As I finished looking through the files, I let out a depressing sigh. Oh. Well, we might do some very small things between Higurashi and Chaos Head, but yeah, that is the order. Apparition, yep. After all, despite all the time I've spent investigating, I'm still no closer to revealing the mysteries behind the Great Hinamizawa disaster. And I'll soon be stepping away from investigating the mystery entirely.
How pathetic.
Even though I so enthusiastically swore I'd be able to accomplish it, this was the end result. Such a powerful start, but such an anticlimactic conclusion.
I'm sorry, Rika-chan.
I muttered one more apology to the girl who was no longer with us. If the incident hadn't happened back then, she would have probably grown up to become a beautiful woman or a terrifying witch. And she could have been living a happy life with her family. And it could have been a glorious future filled with endless possibilities. But no matter how many excuses I tried to make, I wasn't able to help her. I was too powerless, too careless to prevent that chain of tragedies. Of course, no amount of scathing self-loathing would ever be able to change anything. It was all over already. Who is this? Let's see. Ah, so you're here after all. Oh, so this is in Yoigoshi timeline here. Okay. I suppose this is kind of like supposed to be like a lead in to Yoigoshi. I've been looking for you, Dad.
Akasaka Keishisei?
I mean, Assistant Commissioner Akasaka. I heard a light voice that sounded like a bell ringing through the darkness, and turned toward its source. And the person I found standing there was my daughter, Miyuki. So, you've already finished preparing all the transition materials? You're as much of a workaholic as ever. The doctor's gonna be upset, you know.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I immediately apologized without thinking, but then I quickly noticed. This is a confidential office in the public security department. Shouldn't there be stricter security?
Miyuki, どうやってここに入った?
Miyuki, How'd you get in here?
部外者のお前は立ち入り禁止のはずだが。
This room is supposed to be off limits for outsiders.
Yeah,
加納さんにお願いして入れてもらったの。
but I asked Kano-san, and he let me in.
何か問題が？
Is that a problem?
大ありだ。
Absolutely.
The police department had very strict regulations. Even if she's being escorted by a parent, everyone involved will be strictly reprimanded for a violation of this kind. But Senpai, why would you willingly disobey that rule?
あれ？お父さんにはまだ連絡行ってなかった？
Huh? Has he not contacted you yet?
私来月から公安部に異動になったのよ。
I'm getting transferred to the public security division starting next month,
配属先はここ。第7室だって。
and I'll be stationed right here in the 7th room.
Huh?
I foolishly raised my voice as I watched my daughter point her finger toward the ground. This was the first I'd heard of it. How had I not heard anything about this personnel assignment until now?
というわけですから、移動までの短い期間、引き継ぎとご指導をよろしくお願いします。
Thank you in advance for your support during our brief transition period.
どうぞお手柔らかに。
So don't be too hard on me. Miyuki strained to muster a salute as she said that and flashed me a big smile. When I saw that, I knew exactly who was responsible for this.
やられた。
You really did it.
This farce has to be one last act of mischief from Kano-senpai. Imagining the grin on his face was nauseating.
Nani?
What's wrong?
いや、なんでもない。
No, it's nothing.
Still, even though she used to be such a cute little girl, she's getting stronger every year. How on earth did she grow up to have so many of these odd quirks?
そりゃあ親が親ですから。
Parents are parents, after all.
私に言われても困ります。
You would have gotten worked up if I told you.
こら、口にしていない言葉を先読みするんじゃない。
Hey now, I haven't said anything yet.
だって顔がそう言ってるし。
Well, I can just tell by the look on your face.
あのな。
Now, see here.
As I've tried to muster a reply, a smiling face suddenly appeared before me. Another face overlapped my daughter's face and disappeared just as quickly. Indeed, it was a face I'd seen long ago. And at that moment, I decided I would stand up and fight to reveal the mysteries of Hinamizawa. Yes, that's right. It's not over yet. As long as I don't give up, as long as my will never gives out, the probability of finding the truth will always be greater than 0. And even if I'm leaving this post halfway through, my own daughter Miyuki is coming here to take my place.
すまない、みゆき。
I'm sorry, Miyuki.
Huh?
お前に相談したいことがある。
There's something I need to tell you.
大事な。多分お前にしかできない相談なんだ。
Something important that only I can discuss with you.
聞いてくれるか。
Will you listen to me?
I want to believe in this fate. No, I will believe in it. I swore that in my heart as I turned to face her. And this story continues in Tokyo-gushi. I wonder what we're going to see then. So I don't think we're going to see much more of Natsumi. Because, and Chisato and their friends right there. Because that seemed to be like a pretty definitive end to their story. But I'm also pretty sure that given the little character screen here that hold on just 1 second. Yeah, this one for Tokiyogushi that it's going to heavily involve Tomoe. So anyway, that was Kageboushi. I liked it. I would say overall that I enjoyed it. The ending really picked up a lot of it for me. And I hope you guys enjoyed it too. I thought that, it had its issues, especially with pacing, but I really enjoyed it. If I had to rank the console arcs right here, right now, I'd say, you can all fight me on this, but I could say Tsukio Toshi and Sume Sushi are at the top. I'd probably put Sume Sushi above Tsukio Toshi. Then Kageboushi. Then, then Tarai Wabashi, and then Yoigoshi. But we'll see how Tokiyogoshi goes next time on Friday. Alright? And Thursday we'll be doing some more Seabed. So until then, I'll see you guys and I'll say so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. Oh, the sweetest of hearts. See ya.